Hey Budgeting Mamas! So today we are going to be talking about our August budget. We are also going to lay out the bi-weekly budget for the paycheck that just came on July 29th. If that is something that you are interested in, please stick around. Let's get into the video. Hey Budgeting Mamas! So today we are going to go over our August budget. And plan out all the things for the bi-weekly paycheck, for the paycheck that just hit on July the 29th. So the first thing we are going to do is put our income 1 and income 2 and then the total income. So for me, I am a single income family, so this is my bi-weekly paychecks. So that's $1,783 and $1,783, and that means my total is going to be $3,566. All right. So with this budget, the plan is to have a zero balance. We want to have a zero balance, giving every dollar a place. It's going to help us save some money, stay on top of those bills, stay on top of those surprise things, and just give every dollar a purpose. So first thing is going to be our fixed expenses. This is going to be things like rent, power, water, phones, car insurance if you pay that every month, just things that come out monthly, usually the same day every month. Fixed expenses. So I am going to do rent, and for me that is $240 a month. Yes, that is low, but I'm actually living with my mother, and so I give her half of what our rent is. Phones, I pay $267 a month. That's actually a lot for me. My kids and I have separated our phone plans, and so I'm paying a little bit more now toward phone bills. I also have a storage room, and I pay $130 a month for storage. I do pay car insurance monthly, and it is $90 a month. And then doctor is $220 per month. And so doctor $220 per month, that is for the doctor visits and the prescriptions. And then subscriptions is $121 a month. So subscriptions are going to be things like Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, BarkBox, all those little subscriptions that come out throughout the month. So those are $121 a month. So that is going to give us a total of $1,068 for our monthly fixed expenses. The next section here is going to be our variable expenses. So variable expenses are going to be things that we spend throughout the week. So gas, groceries, fast food, if you do a lot of DoorDash, things like that. Variable expenses are just going to be those out-of-pocket expenses that happen throughout the week, and we want to be sure that we have the money for those. So groceries, it's $200 a month. Fast food, $150 per month. Personal, we're going to do $80. And then we have cigarette money. I am a smoker, so I do account for that. If you know, you know. And sadly, this is probably one of my biggest bills each month. Got to find a way to cut that down. And then we are going to do gas, I don't do a whole lot of driving around right now. I work from home, and pretty much everything I need is right here locally in town, but we will do $50. All right, we are going to skip this debt session for a second, and we are going to do our sinking funds. So sinking funds are going to be those things that we want to set money aside for, that this is going to come up at some point, but we don't want to be surprised when it does. So things like car maintenance, Christmas, if you have kids and you want to do their allowance, things like that. So I am going to do car maintenance. Right now my car needs brakes, I need tires, I need an oil change. Like, I literally need everything right now. So we're going to do 100 this month in that envelope. Dream house. So dream house for me, as I said, I'm living with my mom. So dream house for me is just putting a little money aside for when I do move. It could be a down payment on a house. It could be furniture. We could use it toward moving expenses. All of those things that I want to start preparing for when I do get ready to move into my own home. Self-care. We are going to do 100 per month. Self-care is going to be things like getting my nails done, haircuts, just personal self-care. Christmas. We will do 200 per month. 1 month ahead. So my 1 month ahead goal, I actually have this as a sinking fund and as a saving challenge, but my goal is to get this amount saved up so that I'm always running a month ahead, and I always have that money ready for the next month that comes up. So I do have this in 2 places, just trying to get it filled up to this amount as quickly as possible. Birthdays. So birthdays, I do have a birthday coming up for my son in about 2 weeks. So I'm really trying to get this stuffed with as much as possible. There's some really fun things he's wanting to do this year. So this is really important. Kid number 1. Right now, I'm not really ready to share their names online just yet. So we're going to have kid 1, kid 2, and kid 3. These are teenage kids, and this is their allowance for the month. Kid 1 is getting a little bit more right now because she is on vacation in another state. So we are giving her just a little bit more than the others to make sure she has all the things she needs while she's away. Kid number 2 and kid number 3. And then the last category I have is my best friend. So best friend is my dog. And this is for things like if I find a toy that I want to get, or treats, things like that. He has a little money set aside for surprises. I also have a savings challenge for pets. Those are for more vet bills, if he needs flea pills, if he needs a bath, things like that. But this one is just for basically spending, if he needs toys, treats, whatever. All right, so the total of this is 1,398. And we didn't total this one, so the total of this one is going to be 800 a month. Okay. All right, so now what we want to do to get to our zero balance is take this amount and begin subtracting these things out. So 3566, and this leaves us with 2,498. 2,498 subtract 800 is going to leave us 1,600. 98. 1,698 subtracting 1,398 is going to give us $300. So that $300 is going to go into my weekly savings challenges. And we will talk more about those in our next video. But basically, we get it down to 300 and then we say, okay, with that 300, we're going to put that all in savings in some shape or form. We are going to put it in savings. And so now we have a balance of 0. Every dollar for the month has a place. That way we are not just running all over town, swiping our cards, spending more, saving more. We know that these things are coming up and we want to have that money set aside for those things. We know that these things happen throughout the week. We have the money for those things, and we know that these things happen all month long. Throughout the month, we are going to have the money for those as well. So we have a 0 balance. We have no money left. If we needed spending money, that would come out of personal. If the kids need spending money, that comes out of their allowance. If a birthday comes up, it comes out of here. Things like that. So you're not like broke because you have a 0 balance. You just have everything in its place. Perfect. All right, so we are going to set that one to the side. This is the bi-weekly budget. I am paid every other week. For those of you who are paid every week, I would take these amounts and cut it in fourths. So for me, I am bi-weekly. I'm going to cut these in half. For somebody who's paid monthly, this is your monthly totals. So if you have any questions on that, definitely let me know. As I said in the intro, I am going to include this recent paycheck, which was this $7.29. As August, I did not count it here because it's kind of like an extra payday, but I am going to kind of use this as August. So this is July 29th. I will not be paid again until August the 12th. Now, let me also say, since I will not be paid until August the 12th, I do have a couple of things that come out before August the 12th, so the money is in the bank for those things. I did leave $205 in the bank for those things that are going to come out before this next payday. All right, so the income on the 29th was the $1,783. For rent, I'm going to cut this in half, so that's going to be $120. The phone bill is one of those bills that comes out before the 12th. So I would be putting $134 in this envelope. I'm only going to put $20 because that bill that comes out before the 12th is $114. So I'm just going to put $20 this time. The storage unit is also another bill that comes out before the 12th. So I'm not going to put anything in there at all. Car insurance, we are going to put $45, which is half. Doctor bill, we are going to put $110, which is half. And subscriptions, we are going to put $61, which is half. So the total of these things will be $356. $1,783 minus $356 is going to leave us $1,427 out of this paycheck. Okay, and I'm kind of editing these a little bit, but if you want a copy of these spreadsheets, I will link below the Etsy shop where I picked these up at. There's 2 Etsy shops I've been using for pretty much everything that I have. I will be sure to link both of those below in the description. But I kind of use this one for my weekly expenses, and then this one is for my sinking funds. So groceries, $100. Fast food will be $75. Personal, I'm only going to do 14. Cigarette money, we are going to do half, which is 160. And then gas, we will do 25. Okay. So the balance of this is going to be 374. 1427 minus 374 is going to leave us $1,053. Okay, so over here we are going to do our sinking funds. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I do have a birthday coming up in about 2 weeks, so I kind of want to use this extra payday to get that birthday envelope super stuffed. I'm going to skip stuffing a couple of things this week just because they're not as important right now, but they will get stuffed with the other 2 August paychecks. Car maintenance, we will go ahead and do half, but then dream home, self-care, and Christmas will all get 0 this paycheck, and we will be sure to stuff those with the August paychecks. All right, so 1 month ahead, just because I do want to get this envelope stuffed as quickly as possible. Also, we are going to do 77 in there. Birthday, I'm going to do the full 300 this time. Get that super stuffed. Kid 1, 100. Kid 2, 50. And kid 3. We will still do allowances this week for sure. And then my best friend, we will just do 14 this week, just in case we find a toy or something. All right, so the total of this is going to be 641. All right, so 1,053 minus the 641 will leave us with a balance of $412. Okay, and then here we are going to do our savings challenge. I want to go ahead and make sure those are getting filled up. So we are going to do 150, which is half, toward the savings challenges. As I mentioned earlier, we did leave $205 in the bank for automatic payments that are fixing to come out. And then we will need to pay back a loan for $57. This will give us $412. So now our balance is 0 for this paycheck on 7/29. So what I'm going to do now is run to the bank, take all of this out of the bank except for the $205. We're going to get cash for everything else so that it's not on my card and I can't just run off and swipe my card using up all the money. We're going to take all of this out of the bank, stuff it in our envelopes, give everything a purpose and a place, and then we will have 0 left to just spend wherever. I do also want to show you, this is just a happy planner. I did pick up this sticker set from one of the Etsy shops I mentioned earlier. I will be sure to note which one below. I love it. It just gives it a personal touch. But as you can see, the blue are all bills that are coming out. The yellows are going to be when I do my sinking funds. Here we have the 2 paydays. Over here, I do track spending. So groceries, fast food, cigarette money, and gas. I do try to track those throughout the month just to make sure I'm not overspending what is on my budget. If I am underspending, then maybe I can put that money that's left over somewhere else. I do suggest, if you are getting started with this budget, print a bank statement and just kind of see where your money's going. Use some different color highlighters to say, okay, this one's Walmart, this one's gas, this one's just, I don't even know, this one's just spending money. It does help you to kind of gauge like what your expenses are before you start this budget. So if you're used to spending $400 a month in groceries and you want to get that down to maybe not 400, maybe a little less, set that goal. See what you're currently spending and set some goals to kind of cut some of the stuff out and really make some changes, I guess you could say. All right, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will be notified each time I upload. We are going to close this up for today. We're going to get some money out of the bank, and then I will meet you back here to start stuffing these envelopes. See you soon. Bye. Hey, Budgeting Mamas, don't forget, hit subscribe. See you next time.